Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where I make English literature simple and interesting for you. This is Dr. Shweta, I welcome you all. Today we are diving into one of the most famous tragedies of all times, Hamlet by William Shakespeare. A story full of revenge, madness, betrayal and some of the most powerful dialogues or the most powerful soliloquies ever written. So, if you are someone who is preparing for MA entrance exam or UGC NET exam, this is a must-know play for all of you. So, stick around till the end and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such insightful literary discussions. Alright, let's first quickly go through the main plot of the play Hamlet. The play is set in Denmark where Prince Hamlet's world turns upside down when his father, King Hamlet, dies mysteriously. Soon after, his uncle Claudius takes the throne and marries Hamlet's mother, Queen Gertrude. Now this is very serious, very suspicious, right? One night, Hamlet sees his father's ghost, who reveals to him that Claudius murdered him. The ghost orders Hamlet to take revenge, and this sets the entire play in motion. But here is a twist. Hamlet is not the kind of person to take immediate action. Instead, he pretends to be mad to buy some time and figure out the truth for himself. Meanwhile, things get messier. Ophelia, his love interest, is caught in the middle, leading to heartbreak, betrayal, and ultimately tragedy. The play ends in a bloody climax where almost everyone dies: Hamlet, Claudius, Gertrude, and even Laertes. And as Hamlet takes his last breath, he utters the most famous words: "The rest is silence." Now, let's talk about what makes this play so timeless, so appealing even today. Here are three major themes that I'm going to discuss with you and which you should definitely know to understand the value of this play even today. The first one is revenge and justice. Hamlet wants revenge for his father's murder, but he struggles with the morality of it. Unlike typical revenge heroes, he thinks too much before acting. Second theme is the theme of madness, which is sometimes appeals to be real, sometimes appears to be pretend. Is Hamlet truly mad, or is he just pretending? That's a question that has puzzled scholars for centuries. His erratic behavior seems like an act, but at times it feels very real also. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section if you have read the play Hamlet. Third is corruption and decay. There is a very famous line in the play: "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark," which I will discuss in detail later on in this video. Shakespeare uses disease and decaying imagery to show how corruption spreads, not just in politics, but in people's minds too. Now, let us talk about the character Hamlet. What kind of character he is? He is one of the most complex characters ever created by Shakespeare. Unlike other Shakespearean heroes like Macbeth, Othello, Hamlet is more of a thinker than a doer. He thinks too much, but he doesn't act so quickly. He overanalyzes everything, which leads to delays in his revenge. His famous soliloquy, "To be or not to be," is basically him debating whether life is worth living or is it better to die. Another fascinating thing about Hamlet is his relationship with his mother Gertrude. Many critics argue that there is an underlying Oedipal tension here. We have heard about Oedipus complex, the concept that Sigmund Freud has given about a relationship that a mother and a son share with each other. So what do you think after reading the play? Is Hamlet's hatred for Claudius just about revenge? Or is there something deeper which connects him to his mother? Now let's see, why does Hamlet still matter today? Why the critics the students or the researchers still read Hamlet. So why is this play still relevant? Well, we all experience moments of doubt, indecision, and moral dilemmas. Hamlet represents that inner struggle we all go through at some point of time in our lives. That is the reason that he continues to resonate with us centuries later. Many a times people feel themselves connected to this psychological dilemma which Hamlet feels. We share our psychological dilemma with Hamlet, and that is the reason which makes not only the character of Hamlet but this play a timeless piece, because of the insight into the human nature, human psychology through the character of Hamlet. Hamlet is one of the most analyzed plays of Shakespeare, और इसके dialogues और monologues literature students के लिए must know हैं. So let us discuss some of the most famous dialogues in the play Hamlet. The first one is to be or not to be. That is the question. Act 3, Scene 1. सबसे फेमस सोलिलोकी है टू बी और नॉट टू बी. ये एक एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्राइसिस का मोमेंट है. हेमलेट हियर इज कंटेम्पलेटिंग सुसाइड. हेमलेट हियर इज सीन थिंकिंग वेदर इट इज आइडियल टू लिव or better to die and escape from all the problems. So he is kind of seeking an escape from his trauma, though it is not seen as a solution to his problems, but only a poor strategy to move away from all the mess by committing suicide. Now, what does this soliloquy show us? What do we understand by this soliloquy? ये सोलिलोकी हेमलेट का इंटरनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है जो उसको डिपिक्ट करती है, उसको शो करती है. वो लाइफ की सफरिंग्स और डेथ के बारे में सोचता है इन दिस सोलिलोकी. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मरने के बाद क्या होगा. दिस अनसर्टेनिटी इज प्रिवेंटिंग हिम फ्रॉम कमिटिंग सुसाइड because he doesn't see now suicide as the solution to everything. This soliloquy is somewhere connected to Renaissance humanism and existentialism, where Hamlet contemplates the worth, the value of his existence, his life. यानी कि Hamlet life और death के meaning को समझने की कोशिश करता है through this dialogue. The next one is Frailty, thy name is woman. And this dialogue is taken from Act 1, Scene 2. In this soliloquy, Hamlet is seen criticizing his mother Gertrude, who has quickly moved on after his father's death and married Hamlet's uncle Claudius, which is beyond Hamlet's comprehension. He is unable to understand the kind of act that his mother has done, that too within a month of his father's death. And this act of hers is disturbing for Hamlet, which makes women unreliable for him. This dialogue or this soliloquy may also sound misogynistic in tone, where Hamlet is seen considering women as weak in character and totally unreliable. But psychologically, ये उसकी personal frustration और emotional turmoil को depict करता है. ये एलिजाबेथन एरा के पेट्रियार्कल माइंडसेट को भी शो करता है कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सोसाइटी वाज देयर बैक देन एंड व्हाट वाज द स्टेटस ऑफ वुमेन, हाउ मेन यूज्ड टू वे वुमेन ड्यूरिंग द एलिजाबेथन पीरियड. तो अगर एग्जाम में आता है कि ये कोट का क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय इट, तो आप बता सकते हैं कि ये हेमलेट के डिस्ट्रस्ट को, दैट इज टुवर्ड्स वुमेन, और उसके इमोशनल टर्मोइल को शो करता है. थर्ड वन इज समथिंग इज रॉटन इन द स्टेट ऑफ डेनमार्क, एंड दिस soliloquy or this dialogue is taken from Act 1, Scene 4. This dialogue is spoken by Marsilius, not by Hamlet. Remember Marsilius, when Hamlet and his guards are waiting for the ghost of Hamlet's father to reappear. ये एक symbolic line है जो डेनमार्क के करप्शन को शो करता है. Now, how is this corruption reflected through this dialogue? ये एक political metaphor है which tells us about the growing corruption in Denmark, and the best example of this corruption is Claudius becoming the king and the old king Hamlet getting mysteriously murdered, and nobody is worried about it, which is a proof enough of the rottenness of the Denmark. Shakespeare here is trying to tell us that political corruption can destroy any society or its existence and it corrupts the minds of the people. यानी कि डेनमार्क सिर्फ फिजिकली ही नहीं बट मॉरली भी रॉटन हो चुका है, करप्ट हो चुका है, खराब हो चुका है. The fourth one is the lady doth protest too much, methinks. And this dialogue is taken from Act 3, Scene 2. हेमलेट ये डायलॉग बोलता है द माउस ट्रैप प्ले के बीच में. तो एक प्ले होता है हेमलेट में जहां हेमलेट स्टेज पर एक प्ले इनैक्ट करता है. देयर इज अ प्ले विद इन अ प्ले एंड द नेम ऑफ दैट प्ले इज द माउस ट्रैप, जहां हेमलेट अपनी सारी सिचुएशन को एक प्ले के थ्रू पब्लिक तक पहुंचाता है. द किलिंग ऑफ हिज फादर एंड हाउ द क्वीन सो क्विकली मूव्ड ऑन into marrying someone else and forgot about the first king and everything about it. So the play's name is the Mousetrap. और ये डायलॉग वहां हेमलेट बोलता है. कब बोलता है? प्ले के अंदर एक क्वीन रिपीटेडली स्वेयर करती है कि वो कभी दूसरी शादी नहीं करेगी. हेमलेट सरकास्टिकली कहता है कि द लेडी डॉथ प्रोटेस्ट टू मच. That means too much of protesting or denying about a thing makes it even more believable. That means when somebody says something but his actions are different. This dialogue also represents irony and sarcasm. Hamlet indirectly अपनी mother Gertrude को criticize करता है through this dialogue. ये dialogue appearance versus reality के theme को भी highlight करता है. यानी कि जो दिखता है वो जरूरी नहीं है कि वो होता भी हो. तो अगर एग्जाम में अपीयरेंस वर्सेस रियलिटी थीम पूछी जाए तो यू कैन यूज दिस डायलॉग एज एन एग्जाम्पल टू जस्टिफाई योर argument. The fifth and the last important soliloquy or dialogue from the play Hamlet is there is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. And this is taken from Act 5th, Scene 2. ये डायलॉग हेमलेट बोलता है इन द लास्ट एक्ट जब उसको रियलाइजेशन होती है कि डेथ इज इनएविटेबल एंड वी मस्ट एक्सेप्ट आवर डेस्टिनी, आवर फेट एज सेट बाय गॉड. ये डायलॉग शेक्सपियर के क्रिश्चियन फिलॉसफी को, क्रिश्चियन बिलीफ को भी रिप्रेजेंट करता है. हेमलेट इज नाउ नो मोर अफ्रेड ऑफ डेथ, जो उसके कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट को भी शो करता. ये फेट वर्सेस फ्री विल थीम है और ये उसका बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल है. यानी कि whatever has been destined is going to happen and no matter whatever we do everything is predestined. So free will यानी कि what you actually want to do and destiny is what is there in your destiny. So what do you rely more on? Is it the action that you are doing is as per your own free will or is it something which the destiny is making you do? यानी कि हेमलेट जो पहले डेथ को लेके कंफ्यूज्ड था, डुबियस था, द्वंद्व में था या दुविधा में था, अब वो उसको एक्सेप्ट कर चुका है उस फैक्ट को दैट डेथ इज इनएविटेबल एंड इट हैज टू कम एंड नोबडी हैज एनी कंट्रोल ओवर व्हाटएवर इज रिटन इन हिज और हर डेस्टिनी. सो प्ले जो है वो एक ट्रेजेडी में एंड होता है जहां मोस्टली सारे कैरेक्टर्स दे डाई एट द एंड एंड हेमलेट द सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर ऑल्सो ट्रेजिकली डाइज. यही पर्पस है शेक्सपियरियन ट्रेजेडीज का कि ट्रेजेडी में जो सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर है the audience they pity that character, they empathize with that character and finally that character dies and it leads to the generation of the emotions, that purgation of emotion जो एरिस्टोटल ने बात की है वो generate होते हैं and we start empathizing with that character and this all leads to making that character unforgettable. So with this I end the discussion on Hamlet. To understand this play in entirety मैं आपको suggest करूंगी that you read the entire play word by word and then try to make a sense of it, which is the only best practice if you want to understand a text and especially Shakespeare. But still I hope that this video has led you somewhere, made you understand at least the basics of this play so that whenever you start reading this play, you have a fair idea of what you are going to read about, what you are going into. Right? And if you really like this video, I would advise you to share this video with other friends and your classmates so that everybody can benefit from it. And if you are looking for more such insightful discussion on such literary texts which are famous and which are important for your exam, then please leave the titles of those plays in the comment section, and I'll come up with the literary discussions of those topics as well on this channel. And if you do not want to miss out on anything like this, then I would advise you to subscribe to my channel, so that whenever I come up with a new literary discussion, then you are the first one to watch it. It is important for you to enjoy literature rather than cramming the literature, because then you retain it more for a longer period in your memory when you understand a text in its entirety rather than going only through the summary. So thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. Please drop me a message in the comments below. What more can I add to the discussion of Hamlet? And please subscribe to my channel so that you can catch up with the next video, which I'll come up with in a few days. Till then, keep loving literature and keep enjoying literature. This is Dr. Shweta signing off. See you in the next video.